what this old world coming to. This morning, I was watching a little news. It's hard to know what's true anymore in the news, but I was watching a little news, and they were showing all the conflict now between the Jews and the non-Jews, the people of color, Palestinians and blacks and everything else mixed in there, right? And across our country, it's just a mess right now. A mess. Students fighting students, and crowds of people gathered around the Jewish kids, and it's a real mess. All over the world is like this. It's not just in my country, but my country come first. And it's not like though I didn't pay a lot of attention to the protests back in the 60s, but it's not like that, even though that wasn't good either, the protests and the carried on in the 60s. These rallies are filled with hate on both sides for one another. They're filled with hate, with anger. Because if you were to ask, if not all, most of the young folks out there at these so-called schools, why are you fighting? They wouldn't know why. They will quote to you what they've heard in the media and what their so-called liberal friends or so-called conservative friends have said to them as to why they're doing it, but they don't really know why they're out there doing it. And they're really nasty to one another. It is horrible in that anger and evil, which is the same, has been and is being promoted as good. And also, it only shows, not only, but it shows that things are only going to get worse in my country and not better. And I know a lot of people say, well, why you always say that things are not going to get better in the country? Look around you. You have young people totally out of control now from all races of people. It doesn't matter the religion. It doesn't matter the quote-unquote culture. It doesn't matter. There is no love. Zero love. And for the most part, you don't see really any adults trying to stop it. Hey, this is not the right way. What is wrong with you? What are you fighting for? What are you going to get out of it? Nobody is asking them that so that they can hopefully reflect on what they are doing. And I've said over and over again that anyone that has anger is evil. And unfortunately, around the world, but in my country, I put my country first, anger has taken over now. And it's only going to get worse because they are turning it over to the women. More and more, they're turning society over to the women in government, in schools, in the homes, and everywhere. So it cannot get better. And the men are just pathetically weak. They act like, they sound like they do exactly what women do. And they're not leading the women out of the hell that they were supposed to be doing. They were created to do. And it's because they have not overcome the spirit of the mother and returned to the father. And so the female spirit, which is evil, is destroying the whole world. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. And it's the darndest thing that I'm shocked that I can see it, but glad that I see it. So I'm blessed. But it's the female spirit. Women are being told that they were created to lead, and it just ain't true. It ain't never going to work. It didn't work. It ain't going to work. Not going to work. Blah, blah, blah work. Even in these churches now, the preachers are doing the same thing that the secular world is doing. They're putting the devil before the church through the woman. And the gates of hell is wide open and coming through. It's a spiritual thing, whether you realize it or not. Whether you realize it or not, see it or not, believe it or not, accept it or not. Why do you think human beings attack one another? It's a feminine spirit. It's evil. You know, in the good old days, you would never or hardly see men doing these things. But the males today, 100% the mindset of the woman, they don't know it. Emotional like the woman, they worship the woman, and the poor ladies, they like starving for a real man to lead them out of the desert into the promised land. And there are just no men to do it. And so there are some ladies, and I've seen them, met them, worked with them, who have come to realize these men are not going to lead me out of the promised land, out of the desert into the promised land. I'm going to have to work on it myself. And they're right about that. And the churches are as bad as the sect. There's no different, to be honest, because the churches are pushing women to be preachers, deacons, run the church. It's the same spirit. The military, same spirit. In the home, same spirit. Because the men just don't have the know-how to bring the woman out of her darkness. Because they're in there, they never overcame mama. You're put on this earth to overcome your abnormal nature, men and women, into your normal nature. The nature of evil into the nature of love. You were put on this earth to return to your Father. You were put here to return to your Father. And it's everything but that. It's everything. I'm looking at these college young adults fighting one another. I mean, literally fighting one another. And I realized their fathers were no good. All thousands of them have the spirit of their mother, which is evil, which is anger. Anyone that has anger has the spirit of their mother or grandmother or both. And they worship the devil, men and women. So these college young folks are fighting one another because they have the spirit of their mother, and they don't need a reason why they're doing it. They'll just make up one, whatever you offer them. And that's with the male and the females, because they don't know why they're out there doing this. And they're not going to get anything from it at all except the thrill of fighting one another. Look how the blacks attack the whites. It's all for the thrill. Anyone that's into the thrill of it, you love evil. That's why you look for thrills. When husband and wives are fighting one another, they're only fighting for the thrill of it. They try to get what they want from one another, and that's the thrill of it. When men and women date other men and women, and they've already been married and or have children, they don't care about the children. They'll know that they shouldn't be doing it. But the thrill of doing it anyway, knowing that the kids are suffering, is what drives them. Anyone that loves thrill is evil, and all angry people love thrills. And they will hunt you down if you are not for the thrill of it. The unfortunate, well, not unfortunate thing. The reality is, I don't know if it's unfortunate. You know, people want to suffer. You let them suffer in their hell. How you going to, just think about that. As an adult or a child, but especially adult, how you get mad over a word. Somebody used the N-word or whatever word. It's just a word. Why it means so much to you? Why do you let that word into your world to affect you and then blame somebody else for making you feel that way you say? When will you wake up and realize you're responsible for your life? You're responsible for your world. What's happening in you is happening in you. It ain't happening out there. It's in you. And yes, the people out there try to hurt you because they're hurt themselves in their own world. And misery love company. So these kids that are fighting over this stupid war in Israel and around the world, they have no good fathers. Because I promise you, if they had grown up close to their fathers, the men and the women, the boys and the girls, they would not be protesting today. They would see there's nothing to protest about. Whoever doing these wars, they have an agenda. And I'm not going to support them in their agenda, they would say. War is not the answer, they would say. Lay your weapon down, they would say. But they don't love the Father. They have no peace. You can always, listen to, you can bank on this one. You can literally bank on it. If you want to know what the spirit of the mother look like, look at the children. If you want to know if the father failed the mother and the children, look at the children. Just look at them. They're angry. That tell you right then they have the spirit of their mother. Their father did not protect them. The father was no good. He let the woman rule. Christ came sent by his Father, even though the dumb Christian want to call Christ God. Even though he tell you that my Father sent me. Why would he, is it that he didn't know English? Why would he tell you my Father sent me if he was God, the Father himself? He would say, you know what, I decided to come and help y'all. I decided to come to bring you peace. But he's telling you that somebody else sent me. And the dumb still believe that Jesus is God because somebody said it. And it's stuck. And now it's hard to unstick. And as a result, they have no peace. And unless you return to the Father, you're never going to have peace. There's no way to get it, no other way, except a return to the Father. In John 20:21, Jesus said, peace be with you, as the Father has sent me. When he have said, peace be with you, I came. I'm God. This man telling you somebody else sent me. It was like when you order food from Uber food thing, and they deliver the food to your house, and you look out and see the person getting out of the car, putting the food on your whatever, ring your doorbell. You thinking the cafe came itself? Or do you think the Uber driver came? Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you. As the Father has loved me, so I've loved you. Abide in my love. Jesus is abiding in the Father's love. And likewise, you got to abide in the Father's love, or you don't have love and you never will. You can hang it up. Emotion, what they call emotional love, is not love, it's hate. And it's the spirit of the woman, and not her spirit per se, but the spirit that made a home in her, which is evil. And they have no peace. Jesus said, peace be with you. If you have returned to the Father, you will have peace. And the world will go nuts in their own way, and you will not be a part of it. You'll be in the world, but not of it. But you have no peace. So now you're in the world, of it, and being controlled by it. And it's all hell. Emotional love is not love. Dispassionate love is love. Dispassionate love is peace. Dispassionate love comes from the Father. Emotional love comes from the woman, which is through Satan. And dispassionate love comes through the Father, which is of God. And the fathers are not passing out love because they have no love. They only have the emotion of their mother. The beauty is, for those who decide to take control of their own life, you can literally have peace right here on earth. And when the world turned against you, you would not be moved by it. Zero moved by it. But you got to work on you. You got to return to the Father. You must be born again. Return the father to the children. He will turn the hearts of the father to their children and the hearts of the children to their fathers. That's the last thing the woman wants you to do, is to return to the Father. And men with female spirits, that's the last thing they want you to do, is to return to your father. They have the mama spirit. They do not want your heart to return to the Father. God said that's what should be done, and he will do it if you want it, for all people. It doesn't matter if you're Allah U'aba people, Jewish people, Christian people, whatever your little religion thing is. The devil people. And he will turn the hearts of the father to their children and the hearts of the children to their father. And every human being, everyone, I don't care where you are, every human being, hearts have been turned away from the Father. Simply being born through the woman. The woman, not understanding what she's doing in most cases, she loved her hell. She called it mama's love, and she turned the children from the fathers. It's a thrill for the mother to see the kids cry and tell her to stop. Leave my father alone. Leave me alone. It's a thrill that she get worse. They'll take the children to court, whatever it takes, to destroy that child to keep his heart or her heart from the Father. It's a spiritual battle, folks. It is evil versus good. And the evil spirit is coming through the woman. That's why she must return to the Father as well, by forgiving her mother. If she does not love her earthly father, she will never love God. She will always have the spirit of the mother. She come into this world unconscious, he or she, and they will live a life unconscious life and end up dying in an unconscious state, and you're stuck. Hell is yours forever. And you think your fight is physical. I want to urge you, do what you want, right? No sweat off my back. Stay in your hell and be miserable. It's up to you. The way has been made. The Father has sent the Son to tell you the way out of your hell is a return to the Father. And no other way out. A return to love. Love as he has loved you. And that's for every man, woman, and child. All this fighting going on in my country with the people in these stupid universities and everywhere, it just ain't nothing coming out of the good at all. It ain't going to make one iota of a change. Not for the good. Because they are being brainwashed. Look at the generations and generation of blacks for the last 70 years or so, give or take. Don't you see they have gotten worse? Each younger generation, each next generation got worse. They have no love. They have no fathers. And the last thing their mothers want them to know, the last thing their mothers want them to know, and their grandmother, that you need to return to your father. Your father is where the freedom is. You should love your father. They ain't gonna, mama is queen. The evil spirit, the God below is the God of the woman, and the God above is the God of man. But until men return to the God above, the woman is their God. And that's why they can't do anything with mama, with grandmama, with the women they date, or anyone. And women are starving for men to be right. Starving for it. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. That's what the men say to the women. But the women are so starving for men to be right, they walk around naked now, at the gym and everywhere. And they're looking for the love of a father. The kids who are protesting right now these days, on either side, both sides, They're looking for the love of a father. And every man who is not returned to the Father let his family down. He's no good of a man. He let his family down because he's trying to get something from the woman that she doesn't have to give, and she's trying to get something from him that he doesn't have to give, and that is love. And love is not emotional at all. Emotional love is hate. That's why it's up and down. You're supposed to love without requiring anything from anyone else because you are of love. Your heart is of love. Christ came and he loved, sent by God, his Father. He ain't God. And he didn't need no love from anybody on earth. He wasn't trying to get love. He didn't need any love. And he had a fun time on earth because he was of love already. And when you return to your Father, men and women of all races, it doesn't matter what religion, you return to your Father, you're going to lay your weapon down because you're going to be completed. You're going to be whole. You're going to be one. And the children of the lie, they'll see you, and in their mind, because in their world they're blind, they're going to think you feel what they feel. They're going to think you're thinking what they're thinking, and you're not. Because those are their thoughts in their world, but they think their thoughts are your thoughts. Because the great deceiver deceives them. Seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, and all will be added unto you. It really, I cannot tell you how real that is. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all will be added unto you. But ain't nobody seeking. A few are seeking now. Most are not. Let me just say this, and then I get to your calls and super chat. I want to repeat it because it's bad for the Christians who think Jesus is God. I want you to you can prove me wrong. The Christians who think Jesus is God, just kind of watch them, and you see how irritable they are. You see how unhappy they really are. You see that they still have anger. You see that they're still lonely. They have fear. But they know the word, and they are fully convinced that Jesus is God. So abide in love. When the last time you seen a husband who loved his wife as the Father loved him? Or a man dating a woman, or a woman dating a man loving the opposite sex as the Father loved them? When the last time you seen something like that? You wouldn't even know it if you recognize it. I mean, if you saw it. Religion has been twisted. I'm looking at all these kids at these universities with signs and flags and walking up into each other's face and fighting one another. And I really thought or realized or saw that, you know what, they don't have Father's love. They're being used by the world. And they all think they're right because of the thrill they feel from attacking one another. Thrills are not love. Proverbs 22:6 says, start children off on the way they should go. Start children off on the way they should go. And even when they are old, they will not turn from it. If you start your children off loving the Father, being that perfect example for them, when they get old, they won't be going to university fighting one another. I don't care what the government is doing and saying to them, the media doing to use them and to make them believe stuff. They wouldn't fall for it because they were started off in the right way with perfect love, the love of the Father. And when they get old, they have common sense. And common sense said, both sides are wrong. Both sides are using you. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If you really pay attention, every time you take sides or the group come and join you to take your side, they are against you. They are setting you up to be used or to use you as you're using them. It ain't about love. And most times they don't even know the whole story. They just take it side for the thrill of it, and then they turn on one another. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instructions of the Lord. And that is to love one another. That's from Ephesians 6:4. For the Bible Thumpers. And last but not least, don't hate your mothers. Every human being hates his or her mother. But that thrill make them think that it's love, and they'll lie and say they love her, but they can't stand her. Every human being hate their mothers. And it's the mother's fault that their children hate them because they have imposed their hatred on the children, and they call it love. And they know the kids hate them, but they don't care. Long as they got a thrill of the world thinking that the children love them, and they are a good mother. Don't hate your mother. Go and forgive your mothers. And you don't try to explain anything to them. You don't need the mother to admit that she's like that because she ain't going to do it. She doesn't want you to go free. Is you crazy? If the child should go free, the mother will have the thrill of emptiness, like she lost something, and she will follow you to West Hell and kill you. She'll cry. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? I need to forgive you. In her mind, she's thinking, you little sucker, you ain't getting away from here. Stay home, baby. You're 21. You're 18. Stay home and save some money. In her mind, she's thinking, stay home so I can continue to get life from you. And then you'll die, but mama will still be alive. Don't hate your mothers. Proverbs 23:22. Listen to your fathers who give you life. Listen to your father who give you life. Listen to your father who give you life. Did it say life is coming from the mother? But the mama swears she gives life. Listen to the father who give you life. And do not despise your mother when she is old. Do not despise your mama when she's old. Forgive mama. Forgiving mama is love. That don't mean you got to hang out with her. You don't have to take care of her. You don't have to do any of those things. Just don't hate her so you can return to the Father. The Father give you life, not the mother. The mother take life. I don't care what race, what religion, what color. And I want to quickly give you, we start off with some good news today. Positive video. The people love positive. Did you know if you want positive, that means you hate, that you want negative? If you want negative, you want positive. But if you didn't want either one, you'll be free. Did you know that hate?
Say that again?
If you want something positive, that means that you love negative.
Oh.
And if you have something negative, that means you love something positive. You're up and down. You're two people.
You said this a long time, like the ego loves the highs and the lows.
Absolutely. A thrill off of it.
An up and down life. For years you've been saying it. I've never really got it.
Because Christ came sent by God that we may be one. Christ was one. He was whole.
Yeah.
He was neither positive or negative.
Even.
Right.
Keel.
Let me give you something good. Positive for those negative/positive people. You never give anything positive. What? I'm giving you positive all the time, showing you the hell that you're in so you can overcome the hell. Here is a love story of a father. Watch this from X.
Wait. Go. Easy, dude. Look forward. Keep it even. Keep it even. Right there, even. There you go, boy. Look at you. Keep the gas.
driving.
Keep the gas. Keep the gas. Keep the gas. There we go.
Yes.
You're going to go clutch, off the gas, and push the clutch. Off the gas, push the clutch. Now you're going to go up to third. Up, over, third. Now gas. Even transition. Ready? There you go. Go, go, go. Yay! You got it, boy. Keep going. That's what I'm talking about right there. Keep going.
I love you, Dad.
Love you, buddy. Keep going. Keep going. So you got a car to your
I
left.
love you, Dad.
All right, they're going straight. Keep going. Keep giving it gas. Keep giving it gas. All right, now you just keep driving in a circle. You're good, dude.
Wow.
Nice.
That is so nice. It honestly, I'm not making this up. I've said this before too. When I first learned to drive, it was on a truck like that and tractor, because it was time for me to work the fields and stuff, so I needed to be hauling stuff. And my grandfather taught me to drive in the same way. Isn't that amazing? So I can feel what that young kid is feeling.
It took me, my brother, my friend, and then the used car salesman to teach me how to drive. And I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, and early 30s. No. Yeah, early 30s.
Wow,
or almost
amazing.
30. 29 and a half.
You need to kind of feel life. Joel said, about to boohoo.
Nice. Oh, yeah, he knows how to drive stick.
And you're never going to see a kid like that out there protesting.
True.
He's growing up close to his father. He's learning the right way. He's been trained in the right way to go. That reminds me of the good old days. I'm telling you, not white folks, but black folks that don't know, in the good old days, that's how black people got along with one another. They loved their fathers. They weren't blaming white people. That was so nice. I got to have that again. This is the love of a father, not a mama. A mama don't have love. This is what every kid, every adult, all races, all sizes, no matter the finance, no matter where you live, this is what you're hungry for. That void, that emptiness you have is for this kind of love. Watch this.
Wait. Go. Easy, dude. Look forward. Keep it even. Keep it even. Right there, even. There you go, boy. Look at you. Keep the gas.
driving.
Keep the gas. Keep the gas. Keep the gas. There we go.
Yes.
You're gonna go clutch, off the gas, and push the clutch. Off the gas, push the clutch. Now you're gonna go up to third. Up, over,
Wow.
third. Now gas. Even transition. Ready? There you go. Go, go, go. Yay! You got it, boy. Keep going. That's what I'm talking about right there. Keep going.
I love you, Dad.
Love you, buddy. Keep going. Keep going. So you got a car to your left. All right, they're going straight. Keep going. Keep giving it gas. Keep giving it gas.
That little kid look
All right,
tough now.
You just keep driving in a circle. You're good, dude.
Wow. It reminded me again when I would teach my son to drive. He lived with me at one point. He was 7 years old. I would teach him to drive. And so when he finally got the car going, he looking all around to see who was looking at him. I was like, boy, you better be looking at the road. What are you looking at? He was so happy. And he wanted people to see him driving. I was like, what the? That's amazing. I'm telling you, men, women, boys, and girls, what's missing is not a protest. It's not blacks hated whites, whites hated black, Jews hated Palestine, Palestine hated Jew, Muslim hated Muslim, and all that mess. It's the love of a father. Because some of you are going to hear and you're going to look at yourself and you're going to start seeking the kingdom of God. You'll return to your father. I'm looking at all these people rallying today in my country and around the world. And all I see are a bunch of females rallying, fighting one another. When you're out fighting one another, when you're out attacking one another, when you are a revengeful, gossiping person, when you're worried, when you have jealousy, envy, and strife, you're a female. You're acting like a woman. And it's not the female nature, it's the spirit of evil that's in the female, since Satan is the woman's God, right? And it's been passed on to the children. And you're out there fighting, not knowing you're acting like a female. I'm looking at these young people out there fighting one another, and the guys are worse than the women out there fighting one another and say, hey, first of all, we shouldn't be out here. Secondly, let's not attack one another. I disagree with them, and they disagree with me. And if you got to protest, have a little quiet one. We ain't got to fight and beat up one another. What are we getting from that? Except for thrill. It's not their fault on either side that the government is fighting one another. But they have no love of a father.